So we have a good friend of ours in studio today from Arizona.
I know. It's probably cool here in comparison.
I don't know. It's like 100 degrees here today.
Yeah, exactly. It's cool.
That's true. So I want to welcome to the microphone Nate Martinez with RE/MAX Professionals in lovely Glendale, Surprise, and Avondale, Arizona. How you doing, Nate?
I am doing great. Thank you.
Glad to have you here.
I'm excited.
So what brings you to town?
Well, we're here learning about booze. We got 3 of our team members here learning about all the insights of booze and getting ready to launch. So we're really excited.
Cool. Awesome. Well, we love the booze platform and everything that has to offer our brokers, teams, and agents. So, Nate, you've been co-owner of RE/MAX Professionals since 2001. Is that correct?
That's correct. We started on September 11th, 2001.
Wow.
Interesting day for all of us.
Yeah, no kidding. You guys have 3 locations, and you've been in real estate industry for quite some time. Very well known in Arizona in real estate and in a RE/MAX network as well. So, besides RE/MAX, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, let's see. I'm going to be turning 60 this year, so I'm excited about that.
Happy birthday.
Been licensed 33 years. I got 2 children in the business. My better half is also licensed, so we have a family team. Tanya and I also have a 9-year-old, so we started another chapter in our life about 10 years ago with having another child, so that's been a game changer. So not only running an office and involved in a title company and going to plays and all the stuff with our daughter, it's really fun.
That's cool. Very nice. So, as a business owner, so you've got a couple different facets of business that you focus on. So you run an office, you're a broker owner, you run a team.
Correct.
And you also are an individual agent. So, I mean, what are some of the challenges that you see, an entrepreneur in that space face?
Time management, probably, with all those hats. But we have a really good team that run RE/MAX Professionals. My business partner, Frank Russo, and I started, 18 years ago, basically this week. And we grew a great team. We grew to over 300 agents, and 7 offices were open at one time. And then the market in Phoenix crashed, and we had to go through all of that. We'll probably unpack a little bit of that later if you like. But in a down market, when it's sliding that fast and you have a lot of real estate out there, it was very interesting. A lot of employees and trying to keep it all together. To today, Frank retired from ownership about a year ago today.
Right.
And so he's still with the company, and he does what he likes to do, and he just likes to flip homes. But he wanted to get out of the day-to-day operation of the brokerage.
Cool. So you're not just juggling the real estate transaction itself. You're juggling employees. You're juggling independent contractors that are in your offices. Like you said, you have multiple locations. So you've got leases. You've got all sorts of upkeep and maintenance of facilities, things like that. I mean, that's a lot of stuff. How do you prioritize those things?
Well, again, having the right team. So we have a team that Mike, our CEO of RE/MAX Professionals, kind of manages all the day-to-day operations and the hiring and terminations and motivating and just making sure that works. I meet with our leadership team at RE/MAX Professionals every Wednesday. We have a morning for about 4 hours. We kind of go through any issues, any visionary stuff we want to put on the table, reprioritize, and that team pretty much runs itself. My real estate team, which today we closed our 100th home today and for the year, and we've had different years where we've had as many as 680 home sales on our team back in the REO days to today where we're a little bit more lean and mean. The team consists of pretty much my right hand, Christine, that kind of runs the daily operations back at the office. And my son, Nate's kind of becoming the team leader. My daughter, Brandy, and Tanya, and the rest of the team, are doing their job of selling real estate.
I love it. And congratulations on that 100th home. I mean, for a lot of people in real estate, that takes many, many, many years, and you've done it by, September 3rd. So, that's a huge undertaking to close that many transactions just in 1 year. So congratulations on that.
Well, thank you.
So what in your mind, you take a step back and take a look at you as a broker in the business and you as a team leader in the business, things like that. What would you say makes somebody successful at those things? What particulars can you tell our listening audience as far as, if somebody's not just an entrepreneur in our space, but, entrepreneurship in general has some, some characterizations that everybody needs to be focused on. What would you say those things are that help people be successful?
Well, I think learning-based is definitely one. Being coachable is another. And being willing to be a mentor. Right? I mean, when you're a broker owner, you're helping people build their businesses. And that's what we try to do. I go to many conferences every year since I've been in real estate, and I take that knowledge and I try to feed that back to my agents and help them when they have challenges or help them build a team. We've been a big team office for 20 plus years, and that's what we do. We help people build their teams.
I love that. So let's unpack that a little bit, because you said a couple of things there that are really gold in my mind here. So the first one, learning based. So many people stop learning at some point in life, and I don't see that out of you. I mean, you're always at our events. You're you're always out there researching, trying to find out how do I improve myself, things like that. What do you think causes people to just give up on learning in life? Why and what kept you going?
I don't know why people don't keep going, because I think our life is here for us to live, and we want to live our life to the fullest. And at the same time, we want to enhance other people's lives. So it's all about learning and growing. I've watched you grow from when you first entered the RE/MAX system, and your development over the last 2 to 3 years has just exploded. And I'm very excited for where you are right now and how you're leading our organization.
Well, thank you. So, and I mean, to segue from that into the next piece, you talked about being coachable, and at the broker owner conference recently in Chicago, the first thing I stood on stage and said is, "Are you coachable?" It was taken from a book, The $1 Trillion Coach, a story of Bill Campbell, who was a Silicon Valley coach and leader of really some of the top technology billionaires in society. So, and you're talking about this throughout leadership principles and throughout, running different types of businesses. What does being coachable mean to you?
Taking somebody else's perspective. I've had 2 or 3 coaches in real estate. I've had a coach specifically for the RE/MAX brokerage on multiple occasions, different coaches. So letting somebody else take a look like, I guess I want to take a look like an eagle looking down in a helicopter view, I guess, and finding out what do they see that I don't see, and what can they bring to the table that I'm not looking at. Sometimes we're so busy, caught up working in our business, not always working on our business, and sometimes a coach can keep you accountable, can remind you of some of your goals that maybe you're not focusing on. So coaching, I think, is very important, and more people are being coached today than probably ever before.
That's an interesting observation. I agree. I think a lot of people are taking coaching seriously now, and I have coaches. I know you have coaches. I mean, it's you've got to be coachable, which obviously means being vulnerable, and that's tough when you start putting egos in the way, and people saying, "This is my business. Don't tell me how to run it." Things like that. That's tough to get over that sometimes. Also, when you've got your head down and you're on the offensive to grow your business, you're making decisions, and then to switch over to vulnerability, that doesn't feel like it goes together. How do you? I mean, do you have to make that a conscious effort to say, "All right, stop, Nate, listen," or is it something that you've ingrained yourself over the years? How does that look?
Well, depending on what they're coaching me on. If I'm not coachable to certain aspects, like I can go back 20 years ago, and some of my coaches, Mike Ferry was one of my first coaches, one of his coaches, and they wanted me to knock doors, work expireds, and do that type of prospecting. And I fought it all the time. I remember I had to do an accountability fax. We used to have to fax in our sheet all the time. And I did not like that, so I rebelled from that type of coaching. To today, coaching, I think the coaching that I have now keeps me focused on my goals and how I want to work my business, and just keeping that flow moving forward. So not every coach is good for every person. You have to find the right coach that kind of flows with where you're trying to go.
But you should be looking for a coach that is good for you. Is that
right? Yeah,
statement?
yeah. You might have to go through a couple coaches to find the right one.
Okay. But it's kind of funny you say that, because it's weird. When it's somebody that you're going, all right, I want this person to coach me. It just has that weird feeling to it, I think. I mean, I don't know if you agree with that.
Yeah, sometimes you can get too comfortable with your coach, but then you end up just our buddy on the phone call.
Right.
And I had a coach like that. And I'm still within the same coaching organization, but we got too friendly. And so we switched it up. And my new coach now coaches both myself and my son, which is really good. I've seen the development in my son over the last year by him being coached. He's a different person, and he's growing a lot faster than he ever did before.
So when we talk about coaching, we're not just talking about business, right? I mean, you just can't make your business right and have the rest of your life have problems and expect to be successful in your business. So, I mean, how do you, I know you're into personal improvement. I know you've started a new fitness challenge, new life challenge type thing. How do you see holistically all of that fit together in order to create a good business perspective, as well as, make yourself happy at home?
Well, you got to be happy at home, right? If you're not happy at home, nothing else, you're not going to be happy anywhere else. So you have to make sure your home is your castle. What we've done over the years is creating a perfect week, just having some type of map that is both personal and business and that you're trying to follow. So with all the things that we do, I pretty much work Monday through Friday. I pretty much work from 8 o'clock till 5 o'clock. That's my schedule. I don't go on listing. I still list homes. That's pretty much what I do. I don't work with too many buyers anymore. But I try to be home by 5:30, 6 o'clock at the latest. So I'm there with my family. Tanya and I have a set date night. It's usually Thursday night, unless something else is coming up in the weekend. Like last Monday was the Stones in town, so we switched our date night to Monday instead of Thursday. So we have a babysitter set up. We're ready to go. We have no excuse not to go out and have a good time. So focusing on that, focusing on my daughter. My children are older, so I have a granddaughter and a daughter. Spend a lot of time with them. And those are the big rocks. We got to put the big rocks in first. So if we put the big rocks in for family first, the big rocks for our listing appointments, our meetings with our agents, everything else, if it's not a big rock, may not fit on the calendar.
But you get those things that totally matter done first. So at the end of the day, okay, I got what matters done. The little things will wait until the next day or something like that. Yeah,
or you can delegate. Delegation is key.
There you go. I love that. So, and I like how everybody says there's no life balance, and I agree with that. It's always a struggle to go after the next thing to seek improvement, to seek success in different aspects of your life. Nothing's going to balance itself out by any means. So I love what you're talking about there. And then you move on, because you talked about just consecutively be coachable and then be willing to go give and help other people improve themselves. That's an interesting transition, because people think I'm either coachable or I'm a coach, but you can be both, and you've demonstrated that. How do you make that transition?
Well, I mean, I just look back how I was treated when I first got in real estate. Some of the big producers that I looked up to were not willing to give you the time of day, and I remember that. And then other people would take time and teach you stuff. And my biggest mentor, my first mentor, was Howard Brinton. And Howard Brinton was the first real estate class I went to. I was a construction worker, and I had a real estate license, and I went to get my GRI designation. I got to spend a week with Howard Brinton teaching GRI. What he taught me in that first week and what he taught me over the next probably 20 years changed my life. He took time to reach out to me, to give to me, to teach me, and to get out of judgment, get into curiosity was one of his sayings that we kind of hooked on to. So because of that learning that I got from Howard, to give back, it's great. And I've mentored a lot of agents. A lot of agents started our company as a brand new agent. We probably have 4 or 5 of those agents that started our company all own real estate companies today and very successful. So when they first leave, you're kind of disappointed, but then you realize, well, they're just like me. They got to a level in their business and they wanted to own their own business. So I look back at that and all the people that I've helped, and I want to continue to help more people.
I love that. That is, and that's the Nate Martinez that I've known for so long. It's, you're in this mindset of how can I help you? And, you're not looking to gain something out of it. You're looking to give. And we've heard the term be a giver. And that's, I think that's mean, just my perspective, why you've been so successful in business and why you are an amazing broker to be with is that giving attitude, because it's cool. You go out and you get from, your coaching, from your education, things like that. And you don't have to give that stuff away. And so many people, they block giving that away with their ego. You get rid of the ego and you go out and see how many people you can help with it. So, thank you for all of that, because we wouldn't have the next generation or even the current generation of people improving themselves in real estate if it weren't for people like you. So much appreciation for that.
Well, thank you. We got to live in a world of abundance instead of scarcity. We have to share what we know so everybody else grows.
Awesome. Totally agree. So, up and coming agent who wants to succeed in this industry, give me one or two tips that you would, you sit down with somebody, they say, Nate, I'd love to buy you a cup of coffee and hear from you some success principles on how I can help myself in the real estate space. What would you tell me?
Well, there'd be three things: is find a mentor and somebody that will help you, right? And then find a coach at some point, right? Maybe not at the beginning, you probably couldn't afford a coach, but a mentor is just as good as a coach. And then invest in yourself. I think for me, looking back where I was before I got my real estate license and where I am today is all because I invested in myself by going to that first GRI class and going to CRS classes and continuing educating myself and joining RE/MAX back in 91. And, the satellite network, I watch that all the time. So all the things that we have in front of us are out there. It's a matter of just having the thirst for knowledge and going out and learning. But I think surround yourself with the right people, right? I had to move away from the neighborhood I grew up in to become the person I want to be. And the neighborhood I live in today is definitely different than the neighborhood I came. And the people I surround myself are all givers. They're all great people. It depends if they're a doctor or a lawyer or whatever they are in life. They're good people giving back to society, and that's the type of people I want to hang around with. So if somebody wants to emulate somebody, find somebody that they want to be like, and then maybe even go to work for them and become a member on their team, or just have them mentor them and just listen. And I think the key, though, is action. They have to apply the action to everything that they learn.
I love that. Some amazing tips. So, Nate, we've got a few questions that we throw in here every now and then for our amazing guests. How about a favorite quote? Do you have a favorite quote?
Well, I like Wayne Gretzky's quote. Wayne Gretzky's quote: "Skate to where the puck is going to be, not to where it's at."
I love that. And he wasn't the biggest, fastest guy out there, but he was one of the smartest in the game of hockey. So that's pretty cool. How and this is a big one for me because obviously the show is called Start with a Win, and I truly believe, I've got my morning routines, and I like to get going with some wins in the morning, and I know you do as well. How do you define starting your day with a win?
Well, a couple of years ago, I read the book Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod, who was our closing speaker last year at R4. And I started using those principles to slow down. I used to just get up in the morning and take off. Slowing down, meditating, journaling, exercising, getting into an exercise routine. That's the routine I do just about every single day. And it really, I think visualizing the day is probably the highlight for me. If I visualize the day and I kind of look at my day timer and know what appointments I have, and I can kind of get ready for them mentally, the day just flows through really nice. If I forget to visualize the day, it's a little more chaotic. So I think just going through, that regimen, and now I'm on one a little bit higher now right now. So I'm only on the third day of that. So it's a challenge.
Awesome. And I know you love a new challenge, and kudos to you for starting a new one. That is amazing. Nate Martinez, broker owner, RE/MAX Professionals in Phoenix, Arizona, one of our amazing broker owners here in the RE/MAX network. Nate, thank you so much for being with us today. I know our audience got a lot out of this. Where can people find you and learn more about you and your business?
Basically, you can just reach out to me via email at natem@remax.net. Love to help you any way I can.
Awesome. Thanks so much for being with us today, Nate. We appreciate it.
Thank you.